recipient of the Northeast Fencing Conference's prestigious Lilliard Award for Sportsmanship, a WBRS broadcaster for soccer. He has a 3.458 GPA, is a politics major, with a minor in journalism. Please welcome Julian.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. So I have developed a habit over the years of not sticking with or finishing TV shows that I start watching. Earlier this spring, I got through 6 episodes of How I Met Your Mother before what seemed like an atomic bomb on Facebook post regarding the series finale deterred me from watching anymore. I abruptly ended watching Mad Men too, but for more personal reasons. The last episode of Mad Men I ever watched featured Don Draper on vacation in Malibu. And there's this one scene where he's sitting down at dinner, and he's with a group of travelers of all ages, and they start talking about sports and the kind of sports that they do. And Don Draper goes, "Oh yeah, I played high school football, and I played a little bit in college." And then one guy, he's from France, he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm a fencer, and I went to 2 Olympics and I represented France." And his wife cuts him off, and she goes, "Darling, fencing is not a sport." So you know why I stopped watching Mad Men at that point. It's for those of you who don't know, it's actually a show about an ad agency. It takes place in the 60s. And even though that fact was said in a time that was the 60s, it was something that was said often to me growing up in the 90s and the early 2000s. I started fencing when I was 5 years old. I grew up in Boston. It's a big sports city, as you all know. The whole fencing isn't a sport is something I heard quite a lot. And so basically it was the sort of thing where I quietly pursued the sport I loved. When I came to Brandeis, that changed, and things were very much different. On my first visit here, not as an athlete, just as an observer, the first athlete the tour guide talked about was Tim Morehouse. You guys know, Dean Flegel talked about him this morning. He's a former Brandeis fencer. He's the school's only Olympic medalist. He's had a huge impact on the lives of others and on the sport of fencing, especially in the United States. And I think at that moment, I knew that this was the school for me, not just because it was going to be a place where I could do what I loved, but also because I imagined that it was going to be doing something that I loved with a group of amazing people. So, to this day, the best way I can describe Brandeis Athletics, and more specifically my fencing team, is as a family. Brandeis, being a Brandeis athlete means turning Gosman into your home. It means making that gigantic open space a getaway for whatever sport you play. It means that you have an oasis where school and life's problems and whatever has you down does not matter, and you can let go and be free. It's where you grow. It's where a shot that goes wide turns into a sweet curler into the upper 90, where balls turn into strikes, where your time for running a mile improves with every lap, where parry meets riposte. It's where you make friends and find your extended family. I can't tell you how many smiles I've exchanged going to Gosman trying to avoid swiping my ID. Or how many conversations I've had on Lisa's training table when I have a sore hamstring. And of course, what happens in Gosman doesn't always stay in Gosman. We travel and we proudly wear Brandeis blue. And when that's done, we get back to what many of us call the Brandeis bubble. But some of my favorite moments of actually being a Brandeis athlete actually occurred inside that bubble. One was this spring, and it was a moment where I would say someone wanted to learn how I do what I do. And so I had a suit and tie on at 2 a.m., and I was approached by Kyle Brenner carrying 2 pool sticks. Kyle challenged me to a duel. Nicolina Vitale, she a basketball player, she arbitrated it. And, long story short, he lost that one. I know Kyle's in the corner. Kyle, I'm sorry to tease you. The truth is I quite like you. And I applaud you for your 26 hits and for striking out 58 batters this season. So. more personal note, the fencing team, as I mentioned before, is a family, and that's the reason we were so successful this year. We've had varying degrees of success all 4 years that I've been here, and this year easily takes the cake. The fact that we have that bond and buy into everything has allowed us to do amazing things this year. It was all heart every day, and of course, in addition to a slew of major accomplishments, we beat Duke. My favorite memory was actually last year. I studied abroad in the fall, and I was in Rome, and I sort of lost a step being abroad, and I came back, and it was the hardest competitive field I'd ever been in. And it was the qualifiers for NCAAs, it was regionals. I was at St. John's, and the field was just incredibly intense. And I was having a really, really good day. And I got into the final round, and basically in that round you have to win 5 matches to go to NCAAs. And at that point, I was on my 4th win. I'm at like 27 bouts, so the muscles are cramping up, and I'm out of energy, and I have Harvard last. And they're a phenomenal team. And I just remember saying, like, I flat out cannot do this anymore. Like, my body will not let me go any farther. And I'm sure some of you have gotten to that point as well. And I remember my team just at the end of my strip cheering me on, and I got down to a 4-0 deficit in fencing. In college fencing, you go to 5. So I was about ready to book it, and then something just amazing happened, and everything clicked. And my team was there, and you just felt the energy, and it was like magic. One at a time, just getting them all back, and I beat them. And I won 5-4. It was one of the best wins ever. And I was exhausted, but it was the best kind of exhausted because I had my team there, and to this day I know I couldn't have done that without that family behind me. And it was easily my favorite moment. Now, before I sit down and shut up, there are a few people I have to acknowledge, thank, and embarrass before I sit down. First of all, to Cheryl Souza, Lynn Dempsey, and all the administrators in Brandeis Athletics. Thank you for believing in fencing. There are over 30 schools in America that have a fencing program, but we have one of the better ones, and that says a lot because we compete with Div 1 teams. And I actually have friends at Ohio State who say all the time, you guys actually get better treatment than we do. Ohio State spends like $120 million a year on fencing. I mean, on sports, not on fencing. Spend $120 million a year on athletics, and I don't know what the Brandeis budget is, but I don't think it's $120 million. So thank you for believing in us and the brand of fencing. To everyone in SAC, especially Alex Spivak, thank you for giving us more exposure, giving the fencing team more of a face this year. Alec puts a lot on her shoulders and does really an excellent job. And actually last year she came up and she goes, hey, I really want to do more for the fencing team. And I was like, yeah? You feel that way? I was like, great. And in addition to being a fantastic player on the soccer team, she put up with a lot of, I would say, ridiculous requests. I went up to her and I was like, hey, where is Alec, by the way? There she is. I went up to her earlier this semester. I said, hey, so I need you to get Fred Lawrence to come to our fencing tournament. She was like, okay, done, yeah. And sure enough, he showed up. To the coaches, I'm not a building manager, and I'm not someone who's in the building, like it's a full-time job or anything. So I can't say I know all of you, but I definitely respect the work that all of you do. Coach Coben and Gabe, you guys are some of the friendliest people. Coach Lamana too, you're wonderful. Coach, Coach Coben, if you ever need me to come back and talk soccer, let me know. I'm your guy. Coach Zotz, you've been a resource for me over the years for a lot of different reasons. I remember my sophomore year we did yoga once, and I felt more like a pretzel than I ever did in my entire life. So thank you. And then Coach Shipman, I've told you a lot over the last few weeks. I probably told you too much. But the fact is I wouldn't be up here if it wasn't for you, and you've had a key role in me coming to Brandeis and the kind of person I've become. To my team, it's been an amazing ride. I love all of you. I have to give a shout out to my best friend who has my back all the time, and that's Ethan Levy. If you first of all, follow him on Twitter because he's a attention slob. Actually, that's not the word I wanted to use, but it's not really G-rated. So. You look at the photo of us on Facebook. That moment meant a lot. It was also one of my favorite moments. My last bout, I just cried. I didn't want to leave, and it was one of the most moving moments, and I had Ethan there, and I'm glad he's been here for me. And team, I love you very much. And last but not least, I want to thank all of you. Obviously, I don't know all of you, but we're all part of this ride together, and we share that common bond of being Brandeis athletes. I've come to believe in my 4 years here that sometimes the best gift you can ever give or receive is a smile. And the fact is that I did a lot of smiling when I was a Cosman. I was never in a bad mood, and that is completely because of you. So thank you, and I wish everyone the best of luck. Roll the dice.